Okay, we will get started, and if some people join us later on, then they can join us later on, and that is totally okay. So, welcome. I'd love to share with you a little bit and give you a bit of an overview of the pathways and requirements of the CWWP accreditation process. Really, it's all about helping to enable you and recognizing, it also recognizes your existing skills and competencies. In working in this industry to help you build healthy and high performing work cultures. And so it is definitely suitable for people who work in HR, people who are aspiring to be working within or OHS, or as a consultant and working with clients as well. I'd say we have about a 70-30 split of people who are working with an employer and building out a plan and a strategy in their workplace to build a healthy culture, as well as 30% would be around consultants who are doing that with multiple organizations. We also have lots of everyday leaders who are leading teams and just want to really focus on being an effective leader and making sure that their team is psychologically safe and healthy and well, and also performing really well because, of course, they all go hand in hand. So right now, the certification program is Canada's only nationally recognized accreditation that is available for all industries and all sectors and of different organizations, different sizes. And so we continually update the program to make sure it's really current and making sure that it's supporting, that it's current based on the current research. Things keep changing within the industry, and we're all definitely going into a good direction where we're seeing more and more workplaces are making sure that well-being and culture is really a strategic imperative and something that needs to be built into the entire workplace processes, systems and things like that versus a standalone. So, yeah, we continually update it as well. So, I'll share a little bit here about how, of course, well-being and performance belong together. So, we really deliberately integrate things like health promotion, which is kind of where the space of workplace well-being used to be, with human resources, organizational development, and management and leadership. And so, it's really, I think, the value is its ability to make sure that well-being is part of how we work each and every day, and how work is designed and how it's led, rather than treating it as some kind of standalone initiative as well. And so, of course, I think we all probably know the benefits, or you wouldn't be here if you weren't interested in how the certification and how supporting well-being within your workplace can be a positive thing. But of course, when we build strong cultures, we get higher productivity, lower turnover, better innovation and trust and growth, and it really supports employer brand as well. So if you're trying to convince your employer about why you should be doing this, those are some of the reasons. We actually do have a handout to share with employers because they'll usually pay for it. It's also covered through the Canada Jobs Grant. Shoot, is it still going? I have to double check if it's still going. I know sometimes they pause it and then they keep it going, but it has been, people have used the Jobs Grant for the certification before. And of course, there are three different levels that will help to support you. There's a lots of networking that's available, and through with other practitioners, which is nice because then you can learn about, about a strategy or plan that somebody built in real life in their organization, and then you can find out the nuances of what worked, what didn't. So there's some learning from each other that can happen as well. And we definitely had a lot of experts put their input into this. So our advisory board consists of people like Graham Lowe, Deborah Connors, Marianne Baton. There's a whole bunch of them. So definitely we try to make sure that this is kind of just evidence-based and based on the leading practice to support you as well. And so there's a few different processes. So the certification definitely aligns with the psychological health and safety standard as well as leading management practices. And so when we're thinking about and it also connects with, of course, performance and even sustainability within the organization as well. And then our leadership level is really helps you to adapt or adopt appreciative leadership skills, learn how to create positive and resilient teams, have, know how to have more meaningful and creative meetings because meetings can be the death of us or they can be something that's positive. Learn how to use positive organizing principles, and then also just learn how to see a workplace or a team really learn how to flourish. And so, of course, it's really based on it's the strategy, and it's really around the process. Building a healthy, high-performing culture isn't a one and done thing. It's not just a program. It's something that is a process, just like in this like health and safety standard. You have to continually assess what's going on, if what's working, what's not working, how our employees feeling, and you build your strategy, based on a good understanding of that current state, and looking and anticipating and having using a kind of an emergent strategy, a type of approach to support the culture, and always evaluating, of course, as well. And so there's lots of different. So I'm going to go into just the a little bit of the process, and the different levels and the accreditation pathways. I don't think I need to, share all the information around the benefits or the cost of not doing this work. I think we all know that it's that when we don't invest in culture, well, it's not going to go very well for people or for the organization as well. And so there are three different levels, as I mentioned before. And so there is a bit of an accreditation pathway. So you do have to have a membership to go through and attain either the practitioner, the leader, or expert level. And so the way that they work is that they're really based on the role that you want to perform, not the current title that you hold. So, for example, when we're looking at the practitioner level, that is really about when you're trying to design and coordinate your workplace strategy. And so that is looking holistically at the whole organization, right? You're supporting the whole organization, not necessarily just a team. However, some organizations, if you're a large organization, will pilot in a certain department before kind of rolling it out to the whole thing. For the leader level, it's really if it's about you leading people, teams, or culture. So it could be at the smaller level or the broader level, but it's applicable to both. Whereas the other one's for kind of broader, more people. And then for the expert level, again, it's really around looking at you might advise multiple organizations, or you might have be working in one organization and just really want to get that credential as well. And you have to demonstrate the impact that you've had made. So this is kind of just a moment for you to think about which statement sounds more like your current work or what you want to be working in. And again, the leader does not require another level. So the expert one is something that builds off of one of the other levels, but you don't. But for the leader level, you don't need to take the practitioner first, and for the practitioner level, you don't need to take the leader first. I hope I said that right. So hopefully that makes sense. Are there any questions yet? Okay, quiet group. So yeah, so when we're thinking about the strategy, I'll go through the practitioner level and describe it to you a little bit more. So basically, it's an end-to-end workplace strategy pathway. So it helps you to understand your current content and needs, and then build that case and the stakeholder commitment to really be doing the work with other stakeholders, not for them, and learning how you can, plan, implement, and evaluate. And so each unit, there's 6 units, combine some research and practice and evidence of your competence in each of the areas. And so the typical commitment is about 5 to 10 hours per unit. And so there's some learning where you're watching videos or reading documents or research or those sorts of things. And then you're providing evidence of your competency in terms of the understanding of it or something, or being able to demonstrate that you could do something in your workplace or you have done it before. And so you enter into our system, which is a learning assessment and validation tool, which does all the things that I just said. And so there's lots of resources that you get access to as you're going through. So you get access to surveys, stakeholder assessment tools, checklists, planning documents, as well as resources for employees that they might find useful. So, like guidebooks to coaching or psychological health. Or psychological first aid, guidebooks, how to effectively work from home, manage workload, develop leadership skills, support diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging. The list goes on. There's quite a few. You also get access to over 100 on-demand webinars that you can peruse and watch and have access to at any point in time as well. So that's always nice to be able to have access to those. And there's also an online forum so that you can meet with other members and other practitioners to connect and learn from each other there. So most of the work is done asynchronously, which means you can do the work when it works best for you. I recommend doing, a couple of questions, 3 days a week versus trying to lump, 5 hours out in on Friday, for example, because then you can think and percolate and apply some of the learnings as you're going. Some people actually do that within their workplace. They actually implement and plan and develop the strategy as they're going through it, which is nice because it does go within that order. So it helps you actually look at first you provide evidence of your education and experience. So it doesn't mean you have to have a degree and experience. You could have a lot of experience without the degree, right? It's not always about the credentialism. It's about your competencies and skills. And then you go through in that process of learning to assess that current state, and, inspire, engage, and integrate with others, plan with others, and implement and evaluate and innovate as you're going through as well. So let's talk a little bit about the leadership level. And so this one it is integrated with Deborah Connor's work, and it's really useful for, like I said, supervisors, managers, emerging leaders, and it really focuses on leadership and culture, and how to how to provide inspiring communication, to manage change, and think about some really practical strategies that help to support a flourishing of the individual, the team, and the organizational levels. And so it looks at how you can support your own personal practices and well-being in terms of being role modeling, what it is that you wish to see within your team. What are those team practices and organizational practices that you can support them as well? And just really about leading that really inclusive workplace culture as well. So there's workbooks for each, for about 3 of the units that you can go through and can complete. And again, it's about 5 to 15 hours per unit. And the reason why there's such a range for those hours is because it's based on everybody has a different level of experience and a different level of detail. And so as you're going through, there's going to be lots of resources and things that you can access and read. If you understand a topic really well and you feel you can answer the question, you don't have to read it all. But if you're new to it and you want to go through and read all of it, then you might do that. And it might take more time. And so that's why it varies. It's because it's really based on, here's all the learning if you're new to it. And if you have the experience, you can probably just respond to the question without going through it all. So that's a leader. And again, you could take the practitioner or leader first if you're wanting to take both. There isn't a prerequisite for one or the other. However, if you do want to take the expert one, you do need to have a practitioner level completed. And this one is really just looking at making sure that you have, a lot of experience and you're really providing evidence of impact that you've made within a workplace or workplaces in terms of changing some of the outcomes. Like you've seen a reduction in absenteeism and, increases in engagement, retention, those sorts of things. So you're really seeing the less. So again, or seeing the impact. So again, it's more for really seasoned practitioners, people with a lot of experience, and or consultants who are working in that space as well. So are there any questions yet? I just want to pause to see if anyone has any questions that they want to throw out. Okay. So again, the accreditation, the way it is earned is again, it's competency based, which is really, I think, the future of learning. So you do more than just watch content or just read, textbooks and things like that. We connect learning to practice and then provide evidence of your competency in that area. So we do have again the PACE cohort that starts September 7th. And it helps because just keeps you on track in terms of the timing. And so it's again, it's modular, it's flexible, it's online. Every other week, we meet with the group to reflect on what we have learned and network and connect. And you have up to 6 months to complete it. If but the program is 3 months for the practitioner and the leader level. The expert is kind of on its own. It's just that essay, right? So again, the coursework, there's again 5 to 15 hours per unit. The practitioner level is 40 to 60 hours again in total over 3 months. And the leader, again, same thing, about 40 to 60 hours. And yeah, I would have to say that it's pretty competitive pricing compared to some of the other HR or like I'm a CPHR certifications and things like that. There is afterwards, you do need to get continuing education credits. And so for the practitioner level, it is you need 18 per year. And so that is after the first year. So that is looking at any kind of maybe attending our webinars or anything related to workplace culture, performance management, leadership, anything like that. You just fill out a form and say, hey, this is what I've done to make sure that I'm staying on top of things and current with the current the state, and then you can attain that as well. We don't ask you to pay for any additional courses or anything like that. Our webinars are free to attend. Even watching on demand ones and just summarizing the outcomes in a couple of sentences is works as well to make sure that yeah is going to be effective for you. So, yeah, in terms of what's in it for you, of course, you're going to get that national recognition. You do get a digital badge and verified certificate, which you can share on LinkedIn, things like that. You get access to, this network of practitioners across Canada. We are national, so it's nice. And we also have people come in from other countries doing it, which is always fun as well to see how they're implementing it in the United States or even in Mexico or South Africa, all kinds of different places, New Zealand. So that's always nice. And then there's often access to different types of opportunities as well. And then you always get ongoing research and tools and resources and things like that to support you throughout the process as well. And so we've got lots of testimonials. You may not be able to read them, but people who have gone through it have really enjoyed it, enjoyed the process. I would have to say the bi-weekly reflection meetings that we have on Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern to 12:50 are of huge value, although they are not mandatory. But people who attend them definitely find they are worth the time to connect with others. And it's just nice because everybody else is so passionate about it and like-minded and has such great insights that you can learn and share from each other with. So yeah, so that is all I wanted to share with you. I will follow up and share the competency framework, which gives you a lot more detail. We also have an FAQ around like the timing and all of those sorts of things, because I know I covered a lot of information in a short period of time, and sometimes I speak quickly. So I will stop the recording so that if you have any questions and would like to ask them, then you can do that without being afraid of being on the recorded version of this.